What happens when circumstances suddenly change in our lives that make us feel as though we've lost that sense of connection with our purpose? When you feel that everything you knew, everything that you've built and everything that you've created has suddenly gone, and that connection with your purpose have suddenly disappeared. How do we find that connection with our purpose again? Now, this can happen to anyone at any time, and most of the time it's because of things that are outside of our control. And it did for a patient who was having long-standing problems with chronic back pain. Because of this, he was suddenly unable to work, and this feeling that he had lost connection with his purpose because he had lost all of those roles that he used to fulfill as a father, as a husband, as a provider, had all suddenly been taken away from him. Without being able to fulfill his roles, he felt like he was just drifting. And because of this, he felt guilty and ashamed and embarrassed because he was no longer able to fulfill what he perceived was his roles. And so I asked him, how was thinking about it like this, with anger and feeling down, how was it serving him? It was just propagating that feeling he wasn't of use to anyone. It was just creating this endless loop of negative limiting beliefs that he was of no use to his family and ultimately to himself. But when he became aware of these limiting beliefs and how they weren't serving him at all, he now became aware and became mindful that he could challenge these false beliefs. This gave him the freedom to reflect on his purpose and realize that he hasn't lost his purpose, but things have just changed, and that he was able to connect with his purpose differently. By looking at it with a positive mindset and not dwelling on the purpose and roles that he used to think he had, he was now able to look at things with a positive mindset and see that although his circumstances have changed, he could still serve his purpose through new opportunities. If he didn't dwell on the past and what he perceived his previous roles to be, he could now see things with a new perspective. So he could now see that he was still able to fulfill those roles of being a father and a husband and a provider through new and different and fulfilling ways.